So generally, the course will examine the fundamental principles associated with the strategic adoption, implementation, use, and evaluation of the internet and other electronic communication media in the marketing strategy of organizations, institutions, and brands. So we will be discussing organizations, institutions, and brands and how they apply these electronic communication media interchangeably throughout the course of MKTG 617, which is Internet Business and Electronic Marketing. Now, we'll also discuss theories and principles which govern the strategic adoption of these electronic communication media with a specific focus on the internet, because the internet is the dominant electronic communication medium that we have now. And it offers marketers a lot of opportunities in terms of innovation and tools that we can use to be able to customize our marketing offerings as we are engaging in them over the internet, to ensure that we are able to achieve our marketing objectives, which involve satisfying customer needs and making profit. So we will learn theories and principles that apply to this process. At the same time, too, the course will investigate all aspects of emerging electronic communication media. Emerging electronic communication media in terms of all the new tools that are available over the internet for marketers to utilize. So we will discuss a number of these tools, and we will try our hands at using some of these tools in class, just to be able to get the skill of how these tools are used and understand how they function in terms of e-marketing strategy. Emphasis will also be placed on the utilization of traditional marketing concepts within the emerging electronic environment, as well as the trends in e-marketing as they relate to these traditional marketing concepts. Because we are using the internet medium. However, we are still applying the same traditional marketing tools that we have known for years, including the 4 Ps and the 7 Ps and the principles of targeting and segmentation and offering customer value. So we need to be able to understand how these apply in the context of the internet and the unique opportunities that we have in relation to the internet to enhance these traditional tools that we have been using in the offline context. So in a nutshell, that is what the course is going to cover. Once you receive the course outline, you can look at the learning outcomes to be able to see what you are expected to know by the time the course is over. You can also familiarize yourself with the course delivery. Now let's look at the course assessment. So here is how you'll be assessed. Like I mentioned earlier, class participation and attendance will be graded, and that will constitute 10% of your final score. Another 30% of your score will be dedicated to the final exam, which you will receive at the end of the session, and you'll be given a period within which to complete it. Once it's completed, you will have to submit it through Sakai. In addition to that, we will do a series of class assignments as well as an interim assessment. The interim assessment will be in the form of a major project that you are going to be given, which will constitute 60% of your score. So these class assignments could be anything from presentations to forum discussions that you have to complete in Sakai, as well as 1 or 2 quizzes here and there, depending on what I decide should be the model that the assignments should take. And these together will constitute 60% of your score. So this 60% plus your 30% final exam score, in addition to your 10% from class participation and attendance, is what will come together to give the 100%. Now, when you go through the class assignments and interim assessment section, you will be able to see what is expected of you in terms of the class assignments and interim assessment. Like I said, the interim assessment is made up of a project that you have to undertake, which constitutes an e-marketing plan. I'll give you more details about the e-marketing plan as we go along. You will be broken up into groups, and each group will have to develop their own plan based on the specifications that are given. So I will give you more information on that a bit later on. So when you get the course outline, you can familiarize yourself with the different sections and what goes into each one of them. Now we've come to a very important part of the course outline, which is the course policies. And I'll crave your indulgence to go through each of these policies because they are very important. The first one being that the course instructor reserves the right to modify any of the material in the syllabus. However, if this modification is going to affect your studies in any way or your final score, I would make sure to notify you of this change. However, like I said, the course instructor reserves the right to make these changes. The second one being that students are required to attend all lecture sessions well prepared, having done all the required readings in detail. And that is one of the main reasons why I'm giving you the course outline, because you're graduate students, and graduate students are not taught by spoon feeding. Graduate students are taught by experience and application. So I expect you to do all your reading so that when you come to class, we can be able to share good experiences and have participatory discussions so that we can learn more. So I expect everyone to do their readings and also pay close attention to trends in electronic marketing as they occur, because day in, day out, we are all connected on the internet. We all see the news. We all know the new things that are coming up. So we have to make sure that we apply the knowledge we are learning in class to these new trends we are observing anecdotally in the real world, because they will feed in a lot into the discussions that we will have in class. And that being said, it means that you have to participate in all the discussions that we have, because that is the only way you can be able to fully understand the application of the concepts we are learning to these real world examples that you will be observing and that we will be sharing in class. The next policy I want you to take note of, which is very important to me, is with regards to the participatory nature of our discussions. Given that we are human, there will always be a difference in opinion. I crave your indulgence when it comes to this particular issue, because there is no way that you will have everybody agreeing on the same thing all the time. However, because we are in an academic environment, everyone is supposed to feel safe enough to share their views without intimidation. So let's treat each other with respect. If you differ in view with someone, please express it respectfully and treat the person with dignity, because it is in this multitude of perspectives that we are able to come out with meaningful conclusions. So please, let's treat each other with respect. And this is a very important requirement for me. Another very important requirement for this course as well, which will apply to you throughout your studies, including completing your long essays, is the issue of plagiarism. Now, based on experience, graduate students are known to replicate material a lot. But I'll plead with all of you to make sure that in completing your assignments, be it for my course or any other course, make sure that you do not find yourself a victim of plagiarism. Any material that you take from any source to help you develop your ideas, to put together your work, kindly make sure that you paraphrase all the content you get from these sources and put them into your own words to express your own perspectives. Don't copy verbatim. Don't lift and paste. Make sure that you rewrite it to express the thought and the idea that you want to put across. And once you do so, make sure you duly acknowledge the source that you got this material from. In the event that you have to present the material you got from there verbatim, make sure to introduce direct quotations and reference that direct quotation accordingly. Because of this problem we've been having for some time with graduate students, we have developed a new policy where every assignment is subjected to plagiarism check through Turnitin. So it is in your best interest to ensure that you do not fall victim to plagiarism, because we will find out. And when we do, it usually doesn't end well. So please pay close attention to the issue of plagiarism and always present your work in an original form so that you don't fall victim when we run the Turnitin check. And with that, I've come to the end of the course policies. The rest of the course outline has to do with the course schedule and then the reading materials that you are expected to familiarize yourself with for the purposes of the various topics we will be discussing in the course schedule. Try as much as possible to get your hands on the reading material, but in the event that you struggle, you can talk to your course rep to liaise with me, so we will find out how best to assist you to be able to obtain the reading materials so that you can prepare adequately for class. And with that, we've come to the end of the discussion on the course outline. The floor is now open for any comments or suggestions or questions that you might have regarding what we just talked about. So the floor is open. Does anyone have anything they need clarification on?
No, please. I'm okay.
Okay. All right. So I assume everyone is okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Doc, please. There are people waiting to be accepted in.
Why are they now coming? That's my first question.
I believe they had connectivity problems with it.
Are you sure? How come no one notified me? Because we established this in the beginning, didn't we? It's part of our ground rules. What did I say about that? Regarding the connectivity issues.
You said if we do have connectivity issues, we could either notify you through the chat or on our WhatsApp group page.
Good.
So that you're made aware.
Good. So Ron, please inform your people.
Yes, Doc.
Because punctuality is very important. I have let them in because it's the first lecture. So I assume moving forward, we will not have a repeat.
Yes, Doc. Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome. Okay. So let's get into the second part of our lecture. That involves familiarizing ourselves with the concepts that form the foundation of our course, which is Internet Business and Electronic Marketing. Please, can we all see the PowerPoint slides that I'm sharing?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do the discussion. All right, so we'll first start with the first major concept in the course title, which is Internet Business. So Internet Business basically involves, please, can we all see the screen now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay. So what is Internet Business? Internet Business basically involves executing major business processes in a firm using Internet technology. And usually when we are explaining the application of Internet technology to business activities, we do so using what we call the value chain. Who has heard of the value chain? Who has heard of the value chain?
I haven't.
Isaac, you haven't heard of the value chain?
I have heard of the value chain.
Okay, so how come Isaac says he hasn't heard of it? Isaac, can you come back on?
Yes.
Are you an MBA or an MPhil student?
MPhil.
And you haven't heard of the value chain?
I'm sure with a little bit more elaboration, I'll know if I've heard of it.
So the value chain details all the activities that are involved in putting together a product from raw material to finished product and then delivering it to the final consumer for consumption.
Okay, thank you.
No, that's not the end. You see, that shows that you don't know value chain. Isaac, what did you do for your first degree?
Mathematics.
Mathematics, that's why.
Yes.
So what are you doing in marketing?
Because I've worked in marketing all since school.
So it was just, you chose marketing out of muscle memory? Because it's what you've been doing.
No, because it's so because yes, that's what I've built experience, and
so
that's what I want
exactly,
to build my career in.
Exactly,
Yes.
So it comes naturally to you. When we talk of muscle memory, it means something that comes naturally to you because you've been doing it for so long.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
But if you are not familiar with the value chain, which is one of the most basic concepts in marketing, then you may have to do some extra reading to keep up.
Certainly.
Because in this class, I assume that everyone should know this. So for instance, in the undergrad class, when I teach them internet business, I explain the entire value chain model to them. But I can't do that in this class because you're graduate students.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm writing the keywords down for further reading.
Good. Okay. So for those who are familiar with the value chain, you know we have the primary activities and the support activities, right?
Yes.
So mention some examples of the primary activities. What are some of the primary activities that we have in the value chain model?
So we have operations.
We have operations, good. That's a good one. Who
Manufacturing.
Who spoke, please?
Naomi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who spoke? Who said operations?
Production.
Please hold on.
Midapia said operations.
Okay. Remember, we agreed that if you want to talk, you raise your hand. Remember? So that we can have some order. Good. So Mida said operations. So good. So now please raise your hands and then we'll get to you in good time. Good. So Mida said operations. Esther Domako, you have the floor. Esther, go ahead. Esther, can you hear me? It seems Esther cannot hear us. Okay, Naomi.
Manufacturing.
Good. That's another one. Lawrence.
Inbound logistics.
Inbound logistics, good. Ekwiaja, come in. Ekwia, can you hear me? Hello? Ekwia, can you hear me? We can barely hear you. Your voice is so faint. Ekwia. Hello? Ekwia, we can't hear you. Okay, Esther Domako has typed marketing and sales. Good, that's another arm. Yes, Ekwia, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Outbound logistics.
Outbound, good. Outbound logistics is another one. Good, Ekwia. So these are some of the general primary activities that we have in the value chain model. Now let's move up to the support activities. Okay, Ike says service. Exactly, service is another primary activity in the value chain. So Ike, well done for that. So now let's move to the support activities. What are some of the support activities that we have? We have about 4 of them, right?
Yes,
so support activities.
Let's participate. Open and read.
Please, who is that? Mute yourself. You are
Hello.
disturbing our class. Okay, so please, if you've spoken, kindly lower your hand so that we move on. Okay, Nuruddin says procurement. Good, that's one of the support activities. Abna Boachua says human resource management, same as Deborah Riverson. Yes, human resource management is another support activity. Technology, Ike, good, that's another one. We have one more. One more.
Firm development.
You mean firm infrastructure? You mean firm infrastructure?
Yes.
Portia, yes, good. This has been confirmed by Clancy. Okay, Claudia also said firm development. She meant firm infrastructure. Nuruddin corroborates. Esther corroborates. We have Isaac and Ike also corroborating. So yes, these are the support activities, right? And all these activities can benefit from the application of internet technology in one way or another. So once internet technology is applied in performing any or all of these activities, we call it internet business, because then the internet is facilitating the performance of these activities. Now, when we talk about internet business, there are various models of internet business that exist. And these are the models that we see the various firms applying online to be able to market their products and services. Now, these can be categorized in 3 main ways. First, we have the B2C models, meaning the models that can be applied in the business to consumer market. So when we say business to consumer, what do we mean? When we say business to consumer, when we say this market is a business to consumer market, what do we mean? Anyone? Ekia, your hand is up. Oh, it's from the previous one.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
so kindly lower it for me. Deborah, I think yours is also the same. So please, if you've already spoken, kindly lower your hand. Okay, so Madhav and Deborah are saying it involves selling directly to the consumer. So yes, you are both right. The B2C consumer marketing, involves firms selling directly to individual consumers. Isaac says developing and delivering products and services directly from business to consumer. Good, you're all right. Okay, so I will not go as far as talking about eliminating middlemen just yet. Because if you talk about eliminating middlemen, then you are cutting out all the other forms of re-intermediation. So let's not jump the gun. We will get there very soon. So let's just take it at a basic level. So we are saying B2C involves businesses selling products directly to consumers or selling to individual consumers. Good. Now, when we talk about B2B, what are we referring to in terms of B2B, business to business marketing models? Okay, Deborah, come in. Deborah, your hand is up. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's for the previous one.
Okay.
So I'm just trying, like from assuming maybe MTN to maybe Barclays Bank. So the use of Momo.
Good. So businesses selling directly to what? Businesses. That is what the B2B is all about, right? So when we talk about business to consumer and business to business internet business models, we are talking about internet business models that typically involve selling goods and services or providing information designed to help visitors make purchase decisions via websites, primarily. However, as we will observe very soon, websites are not the only means by which this business can be done over the internet. Sometimes some of these businesses are done via social media apps or social media platforms, which we will discuss a bit later on. So that is it for the business to consumer and business to business models. Now let's talk about the consumer to consumer models, which has actually emerged and become very popular as a result of the internet and its multifaceted technologies. So when we say consumer to consumer, what are we talking about? Nuruddin, your hand is up. Or it's from the previous one.
Yes, my hand was up for the previous one.
Okay, so please, if your hand is up and then you are no longer going to speak, can you kindly lower your hand so that we don't get confused and then we can see those who want to answer the current question and then give them the opportunity.
All right, I've done that, thank you.
Okay. Shirley.
Yes, madam.
Okay, you want to try the consumer to consumer?
Yes. Okay,
please go
ahead. In my perspective, I think consumers interacting among themselves.
Good, that's basically what it is. So it's about the consumers basically engaging and interacting among themselves. Now, online, when consumers come together in their numbers and start interacting among themselves and chatting and commenting, we have a term we use for it. What is it? What is that term? Okay, your hand is up. You want to try?
Online marketing.
Come again. Here, they are not selling. When you say marketing, it connotes that they are selling something. But here they are engaging with each other. They are chatting with each other. They are communicating with each other. Communicating. So when they come together in that form, what do we call them? Yeah, social interaction, you're coming close. So that social interaction happens in a certain setting. What setting does it happen in? Okay, do you want to have a think and come back?
Yes, please.
Okay, Lawrence, you want to try?
Yes, social media.
No, social media is the platform that interaction often happens on. But when they are interacting in that manner and they come together, there's a phrase for it. When they are communicating, I'm giving you clues. You guys should catch the drift. They are communicating, socializing, you are coming close. They socialize in a setting. When they come together in that setting, what are they called?
E-commerce.
No, e-commerce is buying and selling. Here, they are not buying and selling. They are communicating, they are chatting, they are socializing, they are
Doc,
engaging.
is it online platforms or groups or chat rooms?
Community. Who said community?
Lawrence.
Lawrence, they're a community. So when you have people who come together to chat about a specific brand, what are they called? When you have people who come together, consumers of a particular brand who come together to share content about the brand and chat about the brand, what do we call them?
Chat rooms?
No, what do we call them? Lawrence says when they come together, they are a community. So if they come together to talk about a particular brand, what do we call them? Not customers. Put the two words together.
Brand community.
Brand community. So the C2C model thrives a lot on the concept of brand communities, because you see them coming together to exchange ideas and experiences about specific brands and products that they have consumed. And you observe a lot of this online, especially through social media. However, there are certain sites that are specifically set up to facilitate these kinds of exchange, which we will learn about very soon. So well done for all those who tried. But I think now we understand it, right? And I'm sure a number of you here belong to brand communities on the internet. Or if not, at any point in time, you have commented on something that involves a brand on a social media platform before, right? Okay, so now we understand the three categories of internet business models, right? We have models that apply to the B2C market, models that apply to the B2B market, and models that apply to the C2C market. So now we are going to go into the models individually to look at the different forms. Right now we know the categories. So what forms can be placed in each category? We are going to look at them one after the other. So let's begin. We'll first start with the merchant model. Now, the merchant model is a form of internet business model that operates using the concept of virtual storefronts, which are set up on the internet. So it is like a store that you enter into, you can browse items, you can select, you can make payments, you can have the products that you have bought delivered to you. Only everything is done virtually. So the entire shopping experience that you would have had in a traditional setting is replicated online using the merchant model. And this model can be used in both the B2C market as well as the B2B market. Now, the buyers who use this model could consist of wholesalers and retailers who usually buy to resell, right? As well as individual consumers who also buy for personal use. Hence, the application in both the B2C and B2B market, because wholesalers and retailers are largely in the B2B market, and then we have the individual consumers being in the B2C market. So examples of this merchant model we can see include Macy's.com, which is a huge departmental store in the United States. They sell all manner of things. They have both a physical presence and an online presence. However, their online presence is huge in terms of the fact that it sells to customers in different parts of the world, including Ghana. So you can sit in Ghana, order items on Macy's.com and have it delivered to you in the comfort of your home. The same goes for ASOS. ASOS is another foremost fashion brand, only they are located in the United Kingdom. However, they also have a huge amount of inventory on their website, including clothing, shoes, bags, accessories, makeup, anything that has to do with fashion, they stock on their platform. And you can also order from different parts of the world and have it delivered to you in the comfort of your home. The same goes for Zara. They are also an online merchant. They sell fashion items. We also have other merchants online who sell other items. However, in Ghana here, these are the most popular ones that I know people usually shop from. So can anyone tell us their experience with any of these brands? Has anyone shopped on any of these sites in Ghana? Anyone have any experience shopping on these sites in Ghana? Anyone?
Yes, Doc.
So
Yes,
you
Doc.
have. Okay, so
Yes,
Ikuya,
Doc.
you also have. So share your experiences with us. So let you go first, then Ikuya will also share her experience.
Okay, so I purchased some items from Zara once, but unfortunately, I don't know whether it was because of the time in particular, but they couldn't, apparently they had blocked some people from accessing sites from Ghana.
Okay.
So yes, so I had the account and I realized I was blocked. So I had to use someone's account.
Yeah.
You had to use someone's account and the product was delivered to them in the UK before it was delivered
down to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That happens a lot. Several people have had those experiences. Was that the first time you were buying from them or you had bought before?
No, that was the first time I was buying from them. But apparently from other people, it's not something new.
Yeah, they've been blocking people, but usually those who have told me they were blocked, it was because perhaps they returned something.
Okay.
Or they used a credit card or a debit card that the payments did not go through.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the first time I'm hearing someone buying for the first time and then they were automatically blocked. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was my first time.
Yeah, too bad. Sorry, I hope that doesn't stop you from trying other sites.
No, but the only unfortunate thing is I tried Victoria's Secret as well. But with Victoria's Secret, anytime they deliver, it's either short of a product and they would not refund.
That's another problem.
Yes, it's short of a product, they will not refund or they'll take it to the wrong address.
Yeah.
And I'll have to let someone follow from the US till I get my stuff. So sometimes it's quite frustrating buying from them.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get you. But please try others. ASOS is very good.
Okay.
Macy's as well. For Macy's, they are very good. The only problem is their delivery is very expensive. But you will get your items and everything intact.
Okay.
The same for ASOS. ASOS has an excellent model where you will get all your items depending on whether you choose express delivery or regular delivery. So don't give up.
Okay, Doc. Thank you, Doc.
But thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Doc. You're welcome.
Ipia.
Yes, Doc.
Share with us your experience.
Okay, so this was just one of the many. But the reason why I'm saying is I believe it was because of the whole COVID situation.
Yeah.
But quite recently, I bought something from Zara.
Okay.
And it was supposed to take, I actually ordered for the express delivery.
Yeah.
But I think because of the whole Black Friday, before was supposed to continue. But I think Royal Mail delayed in the delivery. So as at 30th December, and they don't update, Royal Mail doesn't update their information. So you don't know where your item is, even though you are trying to track.
That's
so
a problem.
December, I had to send an email to Zara before they were able to communicate, and we found out the item was now in the UK on 30th December.
Oh my
God. I had to send an email telling them they should return the product and then refund my money because the person who was supposed to bring it to me had left.
Sorry.
Yes. But I think it's just one of the situations because of the whole COVID issue. But with Macy's and ASOS, when I shop from them, I don't get problems like that.
That's true. That's true. So you see, Akuya has confirmed what I'm saying about Macy's and ASOS. So those who have had the bad experiences with Zara, please don't give up. Please try Macy's and ASOS.
Keep trying.
Akuya, thank you for sharing.
Thank you too.
So we have, as we can see, our colleagues have had actual experiences with these merchant models. So please, those who have not as of yet, you know some people who have tried. So talk to them and then also try your hands on it. Bafo Apia says Alibaba. Yes, Alibaba. Alibaba is a very popular one too, but I know it's mostly popular among those who like to order items from China to do business with. So I know a number of SMEs that order their raw material, their zips, their leather, as well as other items from Alibaba. I'm told Alibaba is very good with that. Bafo, you wanted to speak? Bafo, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Alibaba is very good.
Yeah.
Alibaba is very good. I ordered some bottles, some glass bottles from them.
Okay.
And it came smoothly.
Good.
And as you said, I think it's more business to business.
Exactly.
It's more reliable. But they also do business to customer. So they play both models.
Yes. So we can see how our discussion fits right into the practical experiences we are sharing. So Bafo, thank you for sharing that as well. So now we've seen how the merchant model actually plays out and we have experienced it for ourselves. So let's move on to the next model. After the merchant model, we have what we call the brokerage model. Now the brokerage model is exactly what the name says. It's the online seller or platform that you're dealing with acts like a broker. And brokers are mainly third parties who bring sellers and buyers of products and services together to engage in transactions online. Now, Alibaba acts as a merchant and at the same time, a broker. Because Alibaba, at the same time, stocking products to sell to individual consumers, also connects buyers in Ghana to other buyers in China. Bafo, did you experience that when you were buying from Alibaba?
In a way, because they connected me directly to the manufacturers.
Good.
So I dealt directly with the manufacturers.
Good. So Alibaba sits in between. And that is what I want us to appreciate, that we can have a certain online platform that doubles in more than one of the internet business models. This is all to be able to help them to achieve multiple objectives at a time and be able to earn maximum revenue, right? So for the brokerage model, like I said, they act as brokers. They bring buyers and sellers of products and services together to engage in transactions. Now they do this and they are able to sometimes save users money and time by processing the transactions on behalf of the users. So for instance, with platforms like Alibaba and other platforms in countries like China, which I have heard of, they will not allow the payments to go through unless both parties have indicated that they are satisfied with what has transpired. So the broker will hold the money in trust. Jifa says 1688.com, also in China, yes. So they'll hold the money in trust until the buyer has received the item and is satisfied that what they have received is what they ordered. And then the broker will then make the payment and then take their brokerage charges. So the broker does not bring the buyers and sellers together for free. They earn a small fee for doing so. Portia says Taobao app in China. Good, they are an example of a brokerage model. What of Jumia? Yes, Jumia is also an example. Because before the sellers can list on Jumia, they have to pay a small fee to Jumia for helping them to come in contact with buyers who will buy their products, right? And this brokerage model can also be B2B or B2C. That is why we have brands and platforms like Alibaba thrown into the mix, even though they are merchants as well, right? So typical examples of these include eBay, Tonaton, and Expedia. Expedia is a broker for air travel services, where they connect individual travelers to various airlines for them to be able to buy tickets. And sometimes Expedia can even help you to purchase everything from your airline ticket to the bus tickets that will take you from the airport to your destination at your hotel and back. OLX has rebranded to GG. Yes, I should have changed that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Eunice. Yes, Amazon also fits as a broker. Amazon is like Alibaba, they sit in between. They are brokers and at the same time too, they are merchants. Yes, Amazon can fit under the brokerage model because they also bring B2B customers together. So in this case, we are saying that the brokers will always mediate between the buyers and the sellers and then take a small fee for that role that they are playing as the mediators in bringing these buyers and sellers together. So that is it for the brokerage model. Next, we can talk about the community model. And the community model here basically relies on the social aspect of internet technology. And it involves individuals talking and sharing information and experiences rather than companies basically advertising to individuals and getting them to come and buy. Now, this community model can apply both in the B2C and B2B market. However, we can observe it primarily in the C2C market, where we have just consumers interacting and engaging with each other. But for the community model to survive, we need to have die-hard, loyal consumers who will consistently be providing content and commenting on these platforms. Because without them being loyal and emotionally invested to be able to leave a comment or leave a review or leave a response to another consumer's comment or inquiry, the community model will not be able to function. Because the model basically thrives on interaction and communication and conversation between consumers. And this community model is so ripe on the internet that we can see it happening in so many forms. The most popular form of it that we observe is in the social media platforms. So I believe all of us have at least 2 social media profiles. At least you have 1 Facebook, 1 Instagram. In the extreme case, you may have a LinkedIn profile just for professional purposes, in case someone is looking for you for professional reasons. And here you get to interact with other professionals like yourselves. So on LinkedIn, we can see professional profiles of people in various capacities in their organizations who interact with each other for several reasons. Then we also have the generally social platforms like the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Instagrams, where people interact socially, commenting on brands, commenting on celebrities, among other things. Then we have other community models like the consumer review sites, which are not like social media platforms in that they are set up primarily for the review of products and to help consumers shape their opinions about various products and services. Now, I'm going to introduce you to 2 typical examples of these consumer review sites. One is Beautypedia, which the females here will appreciate more. And the other one is CNET, which the males will appreciate a bit more. Okay, Mida, you're asking how does Pinterest fit here? Pinterest is also a community model where they post images, mood boards, make recommendations based on people's interests. So Pinterest here is a community model where people engage and interact with each other, primarily using images. Mida, you can go ahead and speak. Oh yeah, okay. Mida, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. That's okay. Fine. I understand now. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Naomi, your hand is up.
Doc, please, I wanted to know if we can actually trust the consumer review pages. Some of them, they review the product to be good, but when you try it, it's not. So some of them fake the reviews. So can we actually trust those reviews?
Good. I would have loved to answer this question, but we have a whole section dedicated to discussing this issue of fake reviews among consumers. In fact, I have a video case that I'm going to discuss with you guys in that particular lecture to help us address the issue of fake reviews, right? And Amazon is the #1 platform that has the largest amount of fake review problems. However, the fact that there are fake reviews does not mean that there are not genuine sites that give genuine reviews. So usually we use the phrase buyer beware. You have to know the platforms that you consult for your information. And these must be platforms that you can be able to verify using several parameters that the reviews that are being provided by these platforms are genuine. Now, these 2 review sites I'm going to discuss with you are 2 of the very genuine platforms that have been tried and tested. Beautypedia for beauty and skincare products, and then CNET for technology products. And recently they have expanded into other avenues of reviewing several other products. So let's go to the pages of Beautypedia and CNET right now and familiarize ourselves a bit with what is going on and see the application of the model that we are discussing here as is being done by CNET and Beautypedia. Leilatu says, what of Trust You? Leilatu, is Trust You another reviewer site? I've not heard it before. Leilatu, can you come in? Is Trust You a review site? Leilatu. Okay, Leilatu, get back to me as soon as you can. Alimatu says, please, can Snap and TikTok fit in since it's mostly used for fun, but can classified as social media platform? Yes, they are social media platforms. They are communities for people to engage in. So you realize that on Snapchat, people have their followers. On TikTok, people have their followers and they interact with them on a daily basis. Their followers look at their TikTok posts, their followers look at their snaps and they comment and they like and they follow them. So yes, those 2 are social media platforms and they fit into the community model. Okay, so let's quickly go to the sites I'm talking about and look at the application. Please, can you see the screen I'm sharing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So currently we are on the website of CNET. And like I said, CNET primarily started as a technology reviewer. So they used to review new technologies to be able to give consumers information as to whether or not the technologies are any good. But recently they have expanded into other things, including finance, health, cars, 5G, among other things, right? So currently we are on the page of phone reviews. I got here by going to reviews, and then under reviews, you can see all the reviews that they do. Please, can we see that?
Yes, Doc.
They review everything from appliances to audio to cameras to cars, phones, 5G phones, VPNs, wearables and VR, VR standing for virtual reality, smart homes, media streamers, laptops, you name it. They are reviewing all these things. So which review platform should we go into? Should we go into the laptops or the phones?
Laptops.
Laptops, okay. Please, let's put it to a vote.
Phones.
Phones.
Phones. Yes, phones.
The phones have it, I guess. Okay, so let's do the phones. Okay, so we're on the page of the phones. Now, on the page of the phones, they further break it down into various classes and classifications. So here we are looking at everything from 5G phones to iPhones, Samsung phones, LG phones, Huawei phones, T-Mobile phones, AT&T phones, Verizon phones, Sprint phones. Please, you see the variety that they have?
Yes. Yes.
So which phones are you interested in?
Samsung versus iPhone.
iPhone. Samsung.
Okay, so we'll do the 2. We'll go to iPhones and then we come to Samsung phones.
Yes.
In that order. Okay. So let's look at the iPhones. So please, do you see? They have reviews on every one of the iPhones. And once they are done reviewing it, they give it a rating. Please, can we see that?
Yes.
So far, all the iPhones have 4.5 stars. Except for the iPhone 5S, which I don't know who wants it at this point. Right? So let's look at a typical review of, let's look at the iPhone 11 review and see why they gave it a 4.5 stars. So look at how they do their review. They show you a picture of the product, right?
Yes.
Along with a video of it. And then they go ahead and tell you the good, the bad, and the bottom line. Please, can we see that?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
So they're saying for the iPhone 11, the good is that it has faster speed and improved battery life. And the cameras get an excellent new night mode and ultra wide angle that can add extra detail in your photos. So it also has a fantastic video camera. However, the bad side of it is that only Pro models get the 2x telephoto, which I believe is a function that the iPhone 11 comes with. And the ultra wide angle camera doesn't add night mode, which is bad news for those who like to take pictures in the night. Then it also has no USB-C ports. So that means that you cannot charge it using a USB-C cable. So if that is all the cables that you have, you need to think twice about buying the iPhone 11. And then the Pro phones have a faster 18-watt charger, but the iPhone 11 doesn't. So even though you're buying iPhone 11, if you don't add extra money to buy the Pro, your charging may be a bit slow. And you have a good display, but the display you have is not OLED. So their bottom line is that Apple may have skipped the flashy extras on this year's phones, but the iPhone 11 is the mid-tier, is the best mid-tier model that the company has ever made. And in the end, they gave it a 4.5 stars, right? So when you scroll further down, you see individual actual reviews that have been written by people, like this one that we see here. And it's the same for all the other phones that are listed on the platform. If we go back right now and we look at the Samsung phones, it's basically the same MO. They rate all the phones using the stars, and they give individual reviews for each of them. So now we are at the Samsung section. These are the Samsung people in the house. Can they see it now?
Yes.
Yes.
So we can see the ratings, right? The worst reviewed Samsung phone here is the Samsung Galaxy A01. And it has only 3 stars. I'm curious, I want to find out why. Okay, so the Galaxy A01 is a no-fuss, low-price Android phone that is the cheapest member of the Samsung A series of budget phones. Priced at $150, though we've seen it on sale for as low as $100 unlocked from Samsung, the phone's bare bones hardware and features like its plain design and low resolution display aren't much to get excited about. I'm tempted to think that this review is biased from the beginning. Is it just me,
yes,
or it sounds a bit biased? Because they are saying so many nasty things about the phone from the get-go. Am I right?
Yes, I agree with you.
No, please, I agree with you.
Yeah, they didn't have much nice things to say from the beginning at all.
But Doc, it could be a reality about the phone that they want you to know before you make any decision.
I believe so. And perhaps that is why CNET is so trusted, because they would not hold back. If it is bad, they'll tell it like it is. If it is good, they'll tell it like it is. That is what brings me back to the point I made earlier, that you need to know the platforms that you are consulting and trust them. Eunice is saying it's a very poor phone for a Samsung brand. Yes, I believe Samsung was like they said, going for budget phones that other people can afford. Because we also know Samsung has some very high-end phones that can cost as much as the iPhones that we know.
And better.
And better. So perhaps they just missed the mark on this one in an attempt to reach a different segment of the market.
Doc, please, could it be an attempt to serve the whole market by trying to address each group's concerns?
Exactly. That is one of Samsung's major challenges. Unlike Apple that have decided that they are targeting the high end of the market, the luxury end of the market, Samsung wants to be able to serve everybody. And I think this phone is a product of one of those challenges that they have. So yes, you're right. So that is it for CNET, right? So let's go over to the other side and look at Beautypedia, which I know the ladies will really love. So this is Beautypedia, right? And here you can search for all manner of reviews on beauty and skincare products. At the same time too, if you just want to go ahead and go specifically to look at specific product categories, you can just hover over any of the tabs that they have created to take you straight there. So here I'm hovering over the best products, right? And they have everything from the best rated skincare products to the best rated makeup products to the best rated body care products, right? So which one should we go for? Skincare, makeup, or body care?
Skincare.
Makeup. I think we should do skincare because not everybody needs to make up.
Yes, skincare.
Yeah.
Not everybody's a makeup person.
Yeah.
Best product.
Yes.
So let's do best skincare product. So under skincare products, they're asking us, are we interested in acne and blemish or best and worst skincare products? CBD skincare is the skincare that is made out of the cannabis leaf, right?
Yes,
so that is
CBD.
So that is CBD skincare. And we have cleansers, cleansing balms, eye cream, face oil. So ladies, which one are we going to look at?
Acne and blemish treatment.
Yes, acne and blemish.
Doc, acne and blemish.
Okay, so let's do acne and blemish. Okay, so we have the acne and blemish skincare products displayed in front of us. And again, they are also using the star rating. And here it seems all the acne and blemish products listed have 5 stars. Please, can we see? 5 stars, 5 stars, 5
yes.
stars. But these are not brands that are very common in Ghana.
Yes.
Okay, Alimatu, well noted. Sorry about that. So please, can we see? They have everything from TLC, from Boost, Glycolic Night Serum, to Paula's Choice. Okay, so they have Drunk Elephant. Drunk Elephant is not popular in Ghana, but I know Paula's Choice is sold in Ghana. They have a number of Paula's Choice products listed, but these are not cheap products. $37,
not at all.
$33, $42. The average Ghanaian cannot afford to buy these for acne treatment.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll go and buy some Mercy cream and sit my somewhere.
That will sleep with our aloe vera.
Of course.
Mercy cream and sit my somewhere. Chocho, number 1.
Joy ointment.
Charlie,
Angel
why
soap.
went to Ghana? We don't have $50 to spend on.
I know. Because after you buy the product, you are now come to pay for shipping.
Exactly.
Yes.
So by the time you finish, we're in the hundreds of dollars. How much can $100 do for us in this Ghana at the moment?
A lot.
In some products, you need to use them more than twice.
Exactly. Some of them not even just more than twice. For an extended period of time, you need to use 2 or 3 bottles to see results.
Yes.
Yes.
So please, I like
I have a
Mercy cream.
question.
Please go ahead.
Okay. So making reference to the definition for the community model that you gave, I saw in there that there was a key about companies not being able to advertise to, the companies not being advertised, companies not advertising directly to the consumers, sort of,
Yes.
because it's the customer to customer model.
Yes.
But I've wondered, how do businesses like this manage to stay afloat? How do they gain revenue?
Okay.
Yeah, because I also watched a documentary titled Social Dilemma.
Yeah.
And it's quite clear that most of the social media sites like Facebook have found a way to bring advertisement into the model, because that's the only way that they'll be able to make revenue. So I wonder how the definition covers it fully then. So that was my question. Yeah.
So the business is not advertising directly in the sense that they are not influencing what is said on the platform. However, as you will learn very soon, we have what we call paid media, earned media, and owned media. In the event that the business is able to earn a mention on this platform, they can be able to take advantage of that mention to sell something. So by giving them the opportunity to sell something after they have been objectively mentioned, the platform has to earn something small. And that is what we refer to as affiliate links.
Okay.
So for instance, consumers have reviewed all these products and given them 5 stars, indicating that they are good products. Now, once our product has been mentioned here, we have earned the spot by virtue of producing a good product. So anytime a consumer reads a review here and sees that a product is good, we have an affiliate link with the company that, assuming your product makes it into our good books, consumers can click on a link here that will take them directly to your page to buy the product. And for facilitating that, you need to give us a small fee. Isaac, does it make sense?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Then they can also take on independent adverts. And most of the time, these adverts are not directly related to the products that are being reviewed. So they can decide that, for instance, because this site drives a lot of traffic, we can ask a real estate company to come and advertise for a small fee.
Okay.
In that case, we don't do real estate, but our site gets a lot of traffic. So we capitalize on the traffic that we are getting to sell out adverts to other companies that are not directly related to what we are doing. That's another way too that they earn revenue.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Isaac. Portia, you say you remember affiliate marketing. Really? From where? Where did you hear affiliate marketing? Okay. So following from what I just explained to Isaac, I clicked on the Paula's Choice item that had been reviewed and given 5 stars, the $37 one, right? And here I have the option of either adding it to my favorites or going straight to where Paula's Choice sells this item to make a purchase. So you can see that there's a basket here that says buy this. And this is the affiliate link I was referring to. So when I click on the affiliate link, it will ask me, buy it now. Congratulations, you're on your way to Paula's Choice to buy a Beautypedia reviewed product. This post may contain affiliate links. Please read our terms of use here, right? So it's the affiliate link that is taking me to Paula's Choice. And they want me to know that I'm leaving their page now to Paula's Choice. So this is a practical example of what I was just explaining to Isaac. Okay, Mida, your hand is up.
Yes,
Isaac, your hand is still up.
The ads that are not related to the things being reviewed.
Yes.
I saw an example in the CNET, and it was Sim.
Good.
Sim was marketing something on the page. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yes, there we have it. Please, can we see it? Mida, can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. So I just want to
Yes,
point that out.
Good. So that's a good observation.
Yes.
Mida. Good. So I think this has clarified all that I just explained in terms of Isaac's question. All right. Okay, so now let's go back to our slides and continue with our discussion on the internet business models. All right, so now we are done with the community model. The next model we have is the subscription model. And this subscription model I refer to as the money maker, because so many organizations are using this model and they're making huge amounts of money. And it is working very well in the B2C and C2C market, mainly because B2C and C2C marketing involves selling directly to individual consumers who can make decisions on the spot. Unlike B2B consumers who go through a totally different process when they are deciding what to buy and how to buy it. So the subscription model, which is mainly based on users being charged a periodic amount, be it daily, monthly, or annually, to subscribe to a particular product or service, is very popular in the B2C and C2C market. And here the idea is to keep the customer hooked for as long as possible so that you can keep earning from them repeatedly. And there are so many ways by which we can see this model being applied on a daily basis. A typical example I can use is the journal database subscriptions that we use as academics. The university pays an annual subscription in the thousands of dollars to these journal databases every year, just to make sure that students get access to all the articles that they need to be able to review to make their research work relevant. So you realize that when you go to the University of Ghana Library database, you have access to Emerald, Science Direct, EBSCO Host, Wiley, Springer. These didn't come by chance. They are as a result of an annual subscription that the university has signed on to. Please, does it make sense?
Yes, please.
Good. We
Yes,
can
it
also
does.
talk about subscription boxes, which are not very popular in Ghana. They are now being introduced, but they are very popular in places like the US, where you sign up to a subscription box and you pay a monthly or annual fee to receive a box of items every month that contains certain choice items that you might need. And these subscription boxes range from everything from beauty boxes to fitness boxes to food boxes. They have so many versions of these subscription boxes that you can sign up to. But like I said, they are not very popular in our part of the world. They are mainly popular in places like the US and the UK, right? And there are so many crazy versions of these subscription boxes. When you get the opportunity, go to YouTube and Google and enter subscription boxes, and you will see what I'm talking about. They even have subscription boxes for the practice of witchcraft. They have subscription boxes. Yes.
What?
Yes. So every month they'll send you a box that contains a spell, a potion, all manner of items. They also have subscription boxes for fanatics of movies. So they have the Harry Potter subscription boxes. There are so many versions of these boxes. So when you get the chance, just relax, go to YouTube and enter subscription boxes and feast your eyes. So that is another example of the subscription model. Another one we can talk about is the software subscriptions that we all use, even though a number of us benefit more from the crack versions that we don't pay anything for. But the subscriptions that software companies provide are often renewable on a monthly or annual basis. So if you subscribe for a software like Smart PLS, right, or Microsoft Office, or Amos, or SPSS, you have to pay a subscription fee in order to have access to it, right? Then we can also talk about the storage providers like Dropbox, who offer storage for our documents and all the items that we want to be able to keep safe and be able to access at every location that we go to within the cloud. Dropbox offers those services also on a subscription basis, depending on the amount of storage that you need and how long you need it for. Then we have the almighty popular content providers, those who provide us with entertainment, the iTunes, the Netflixes, the Disney Pluses. All of these are subscription models that we subscribe to in order to enjoy the contents that they provide. So if you subscribe to Netflix, you can stream the movies and the series that Netflix offers for free. If you subscribe to iTunes, you can stream the music, you can download albums, and do all the manner of things that iTunes enables you to do, including sometimes even downloading whole seasons of television series based on the level of subscription that you have. So these are manifestations of the subscription model that we have observed over the internet. Please, does anyone have any subscription with any website or platform?
Yes.
Isaac, which one do you have?
iTunes.
Wix.
iTunes, okay.
No, with Wix.com.
Wix.com, good. So you have Wix.com. You are hosting your website, eh?
Yes, yes,
okay.
Internet service providers.
Okay, right. So these are typical. Okay, so Mida, you subscribe to Flow. Okay, that's another good one. This one is exclusive to the females.
I know about it.
You know about Flow?
Yes.
That's good.
I'm very inquisitive.
That's good. Okay.
That's a caring boyfriend.
So that is it for the subscription model, right? Good. So these are the 4 dominant models that we have. And these models are facilitated on the internet with all the myriad innovations and tools that help us to be able to consider and do. What would we consider DSTV as one? Yes, DSTV also is a subscription service. And now they have DSTV on the go, where you can watch DSTV using your tablet, your phone, or your laptop. So Ekweaja DSTV is one of them.
Yes, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so like I was saying, the internet is able to facilitate all these things because of its unique characteristics. And what are these unique characteristics we are talking about? The first one being that the internet has the characteristic of ubiquity, meaning that it is available everywhere, anywhere, and at any time. That is why you can subscribe to DSTV on the go, or Netflix, or iTunes, and you can listen on your iPad, or your iPhone, or your Samsung phone, wherever you find yourself at any point in time. I know for the DSTV on the go, it really helps during Premier League season, when people are stuck in traffic or stuck at the office and you don't want to miss a match. This is as a result of ubiquity. It helps us to be able to stay connected wherever, whenever. Then we have global reach. Global reach in terms of the fact that internet technology is available everywhere. So you can go to the ends of the world, and as long as there's a Wi-Fi connection, you can log on to the internet and access your social media platforms, access your website, and any other thing that you need done using the internet. Another interesting characteristic of the internet that makes marketers' work so easy and so much fun is the richness of the internet. Because we have access to video, audio, graphics, and text over the internet, we can use a combination of these to customize our market offerings to make it attractive to our target audience and get them to come and patronize our product or service. So as we saw from the CNET platform, in the reviews, they were utilizing everything from videos to audio to graphics to text, just to make sure that they are able to give the consumer the best experience to keep them coming back to the platform. At the same time, too, we have what we call universal standard. In terms of the fact that communication over the internet is universal. The same templates that you will use to build your website in Ghana can be used by another person to build their website, perhaps in the UK or in Norway or in the US, and they will function in the same or a similar manner. So this universal standard helps marketers to be able to do business with people in other parts of the world, because the websites that we build in Ghana using the internet technology will appeal to other people in other parts of the world because of the universal communication standard that was utilized in its development. In terms of internet characteristics still, we can also talk about the feature of interactivity, which also again facilitates a lot of the marketers' activities and makes their work easier. Because through the interaction that marketers are able to have in terms of two-way dialogue with their customers, and this dialogue, bear in mind, can happen both actively and silently, such that marketers can sit back and interact with their customers basically through observation. By observing them interact with the contents that they post on their platforms as marketers, or by just watching them interact with each other as consumers within the brand communities. All of these forms of interaction help the marketer to understand the customers better and know how best to serve them. Because if you don't understand your customers and you don't know their needs, you will not be able to serve them properly. So interactivity is very important as a feature of the internet that facilitates our marketing activities. And the next feature, information density, I refer to as the double-edged sword. It is a very dangerous characteristic of the internet to the marketer and also a very beneficial characteristic. Dangerous in the sense that because of information density being the vast amounts of information that are available on the internet to every participant, including customers, competitors, marketers, and stakeholders, the consumer has become very powerful because this information can be used either for or against you, depending on the situation that the consumer finds themselves in. And it is this power that the consumer has through information density that has led to what we refer to as cancel culture. Please, who has heard of cancel culture?
Please come again, I didn't hear that.
Has anyone heard of cancel culture?
Yes, please.
Can you please explain it to us? Lauren.
Basically.
Okay, that's Clancy. Sorry, Clancy, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Cancel culture is basically where
Clancy, you've gone off. We can't hear you. Hello.
Please, can you hear me?
Good. We can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that cancel culture is basically when people decide, or a group of people decide not to engage with somebody or a firm due to certain actions that the person has taken.
Good.
So say cancel culture can be one of the activities of there's this Kevin Spacey. When it came out, he had sexually abused boys.
Good.
He had sexually abused boys.
Yeah.
Underage boys, let me say it that way. Yes.
Yeah.
When it happened, he got pulled out of a lot of movies.
Good.
He was sent to court, and a lot of people actually stopped watching a lot of his movies. They had to pull him out of House of Cards, or they had to close the seasons early due to the fact that a lot of people, he wasn't appealing to the masses anymore.
Good. Good. So that's a prime example
so
of
I think
it.
It occurs when people decide not to engage with a particular firm or person due to certain actions.
And you've forgotten the important part, and they encourage others also to do so.
Dr. Boateng.
Yes, Clancy.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can.
Good. And I was saying you left out one key part about the fact that they don't just decide to do it themselves, they actively encourage others to also do the same. It seems
yes, they actively encourage others or to do the same due to maybe a particular action.
Good.
So usually you see things on like that on social media. Maybe this person goes online and says, maybe I took Bolt and I was attacked by the driver.
Good.
So it's either you guys help me report, or we all decide not to use Bolt's app when we are when you want a form of transportation.
Good. And that's a prime example of cancel culture. Thank you, Clancy. Lawrence, you want to come in?
Yes, I wanted to add that it's usually in the form of a full-blown campaign that's encouraging other people to also boycott or boycott the individual or the organization.
Exactly, that's true. And because of information density, they have receipts.
Exactly, yes.
Good. Right? Yes, go ahead. Is that Solis?
Yes, Doc.
Solis, go ahead.
Can an example be the whole xenophobia thing that happened in South Africa that made people started telling people to boycott South African businesses like ShopRite and I think MTN.
Good. That's a typical example of cancel culture. And they had the receipts to prove it because they had the videos of people being abused. They had the tweets. So yes, it's a typical example of cancel culture. Solis.
Thank you, Doc.
You're right on. You're welcome. Okay, so that is why I say information density is a double-edged sword. But at the same time, to the same information density, despite this issue of cancel culture being a direct result of customers having access to all manner of information about brands, it can also be a tool in the hands of the marketer, in the sense that marketers, because of this availability of information, can easily pitch themselves against their competition and prove to their customers why they are the better brand, why they are the preferred brand, why they should choose them over the other brand. And they can use this information density to convince their customers about their transparency and build trust. So you realize that they would leave all these review sites to independently review their products. Sometimes they would, out of their own free will, send the products to reviewers and ask them to review and then post their honest reviews on the platforms without influencing the process. All in a bid to take advantage of the information density to make sure there's as much information out there for the consumers to be able to understand and appreciate their brand of product or service and how it works. So that is it for information density. We can also talk about personalization and customization, which is another great tool that marketers utilize over the internet a lot. This personalization and customization reflects in everything from the consumption of products like shoes, bags, clothes. Currently, we have websites where you can customize every item of clothing. You can customize sneakers. You can customize handbags. You can customize and personalize everything that has to do with physical products. Even the food that we eat, you can customize. Even the shampoo you put in your hair, you can customize it. You can determine what ingredients goes into it. They will mix it and they'll ship it to you wherever you are. So personalization and customization is a key one. We can also do the same for services. Look at how they can customize your banking applications to suit your unique needs. Your banking, the page that you access for your banking services on your bank's website is exclusive to you, because the moment you log in, it identifies you by name using your unique ID and your unique password. And based on your banking habits, it shows you certain kinds of information and provides you with certain options. So these are all prime ways by which marketers are able to utilize the internet's feature of personalization and customization to sell their products and services to customers. And the final feature we can talk about, which we are all too familiar with, is the social technology aspect, where we use the social networking applications facilitated by the internet to engage with each other, promote products and services, to do all these pivotal activities that we conduct in relation to brands, including what we have just discussed with regard to cancel culture, which has been largely promulgated as a result of this social technology that we are talking about that is facilitated by the internet. So in a nutshell, these are the features of the internet that help us as marketers to be able to do all these fantastic things we do in terms of e-marketing. So on that note, what is e-marketing? E-marketing is basically the planning and execution of a firm's marketing objectives using all these internet-enabled communication media in addition to other non-internet enabled media. Because bear in mind that even though the internet is currently rife and we are using it for almost everything, we are still utilizing other electronic communication media which are not necessarily internet enabled, like the television, like radio, because we still have certain segments of our customer base that rely on these electronic communication media for information. So we use a combination of these, even though the dominant techniques that we are applying now are in relation to the internet. So in talking about these communication media, there are three main forms we can talk about. We can talk about the paid media, the earned media, and the owned media. We'll take each of them one by one and then explain what they are made up of. So the paid, earned, and owned media can be put together into what we call the PEO model, which determines the combination of media that the marketer uses to be able to achieve their objectives. Now, even though the PEO model is predominantly used in the online setting, it is also applicable in the traditional setting. In the sense that traditionally, when you talk about paid media, we can talk about TV and radio and print and all the advertising slots we buy in all those media that are not electronic. When we talk about earned media, we can talk about the media that we do not pay for, but that we earn by virtue of means like word of mouth, where we do not have to pay for it to be done, but we earned it perhaps by delivering quality products and services. And we can also talk about owned media, where you realize that a company may start their own newsletter just to be advertising their products and selling themselves to their customer base. Or a company may decide that to be able to properly advertise themselves, they will go and set up their own television station. Like the way GN Bank set up GN TV. Please, does GN TV still exist? I can't seem to catch it on my TV.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Anymore. Oh, I have to reset my television.
Xylophone
FM
is also exist.
Good. So Xylophone FM, Xylophone TV, these are all examples of owned media in the traditional sense. So this confirms the fact that the PEO model can be applied both online and offline. But in terms of our objectives for this course, we will be looking at it primarily through the online lens. So let's understand what paid, owned, and earned media are about. For the paid media, we say that it is marketing in any media where the promotion is paid for and placed by the selling organization. So it allows the marketer to show their ad or whatever communication they have for their customers on whatever electronic media they choose for a fee. So if you are doing it on TV, you are paying for the TV slot. And this TV could either be a digital television or TV that is streamed online. You can also pay for it via radio, or you can pay for display adverts on specific websites that have high traffic. Or you can even pay for digital signage to be able to display your advert. These are all forms of electronic communication media that the marketer can use, but which they have to pay for. Now, apart from the paid media, we can talk about the owned media. And this is marketing in any media where the product, brand, or organization owns and has control of the particular medium that is being used or the content in it. So like we just established, the company can set up their own website or open their own TV station or open their own radio station. However, when it comes to online platforms like social media, even though the company owns the social media page that they have set up, they do not own the platform. So they own it, but to a limited degree. That is why you have certain companies getting their pages taken away by Instagram. Or they have Facebook shutting down their pages. Even the whole soon-to-be former president of the United States had his social media page taken away. So that is the catch-22 with the social media platforms. However, with all the other platforms, the firm pays for and owns it exclusively. So Isaac owns exclusively the website that he is hosting on Wix, because he has paid for it and he's paying for it to be continuously posted on the page. And it is customized by him. He alone is responsible for all the information that is put on the page, all the content that is uploaded, he alone is responsible for. So that is what we call owned media. Then we can finally talk about the earned media, where we are talking about streams in which consumers, the press, and other outsiders who are external to the firm or the brand voluntarily, and I repeat, the word is voluntarily, communicate something about the brand either via word of mouth, through their social networks, or through influencer outreach. Now, influencer outreach can either be earned or paid for. So I want you to take note of that. Even though we are discussing it under earned media, influencers initially started out as a form of earned media, which spawned the arm of influencer marketing. However, over time, they learned how to monetize the art of influencing. So now we have influencers who act on behalf of organizations and are paid to do so. So in that case, influencer outreach would be paid for. But in the events that the influencer is not being paid for making that outreach and they are doing so of their own free will, without any influence from the brand or the company in question, we can call it earned media. So these are the three types of media that we have at our disposal as e-marketers that we can utilize. Now, when it comes to electronic marketing, these media interact all the time, and it is up to the marketer to find an optimal interaction model to be able to use to promote their business. Because as e-marketers, we can't rely mainly on one form of media to promote our brand. This is mainly because we are targeting various segments of customers who are exposed to different kinds of these media at any point in time. So while you may be able to reach one customer through earned media, perhaps by word of mouth, you may be able to reach another through owned media, perhaps through your website or your social media channel. And you may yet be able to reach another through paid media, perhaps paid content that you put on someone's website or through a paid influencer. So at any point in time, marketers strategize using a combination of earned, owned, and paid media to achieve their objectives. So where these models intersect are gray areas that the marketer has to put in extra effort to be able to achieve meaningful outcomes. So for instance, let's look at the model we have in front of us. At the intersection of earned and paid media, we know earned media has to do with the media that we earn that we do not pay for. So online, earned media is mainly in the form of word of mouth. That happens in the form of shares on social media platforms, likes of your content, people getting tagged in your content independently without being forced to do so, people mentioning you. We have the hashtags that people use to bring attention to things that they post on social media, all of which create word of mouth for various brands, products, and services, as well as recommendations. And on the other hand, paid media are all the media that we paid for. And online, this can be in the form of paid per-click adverts, display ads, paying influencers, running social media adverts, among others. Now, when earned and paid media intersect online, we have what we call the intersection where we have to push for sharing and engagement with the paid media. Because it is one thing to pay for the media and display it, and it is another thing to get your prospective consumers to engage with the content. I put this question to you. How many times have you not seen a display ad and closed it? You didn't even bother to read it. As soon as it popped up, you just closed it. True or false?
Several times.
Several times. So it is not just enough to just be paying for the content to be posted on the people's page, paying the influencers to talk about it. You need to put in an extra effort to get the earned media to push the paid media. So that when you pay the influencer to post it, perhaps on Twitter, you can get other consumers to independently retweet and independently share and independently like and independently post. That way you are using the power of the paid and earned media to propel your products and services to a larger audience. The same goes for the paid and owned media. It is not just enough for you to have your own website. It is not also just enough to be paying to be posting adverts on other people's platforms or paying influencers to talk about it. You need to enhance people's awareness of these paid and owned media that you have. Such that at the intersection of paid and owned media, we have what we call enhancing exposure to the web properties that you have, often through search engine optimization. So if you have a website and you do not optimize it, when people go to Google, for example, to search for products that are in your product category, your website may never pop up. Do you agree?
Certainly.
Yes. So you need to make sure that you include all the meta tags that have to be included to be able to ensure that your website is search engine optimized so that it will pop up because you own it and at the same time you are paying for it to be noticed and for your consumers to be aware of it. So at the intersection, we have what we call enhancing the exposure to web properties with search engine optimization. So that as you optimize these platforms, your consumers become more aware of it, and the money that you are wasting to host them and keep them up and running will not be in vain. The same thing at the intersection of owned and earned media. It is not just enough for you to have a website or social media page and keep posting on it. If you keep posting and people are not liking what you are posting, people are not sharing what you are posting, they are not tagging other people, they are not reposting what you are sharing on your social media platforms, you will not be able to achieve your objectives. So that at the intersection of owned and earned media, we talk about search engine optimization once again, and then brand content to drive your earned media, such that you are sharing and posting things on your own media, and then encouraging earned media by, for instance, asking your followers to post their comments under what you have shared to express how they feel about it. Or perhaps encouraging some form of earned media around your owned media. And for this one, a lot of the Instagram businesses do it very well. They will use their Instagram page to often post giveaways, to post competitions, just to get people to voluntarily give them earned media by including certain clauses in the terms of the post. Has anyone observed what I'm talking about?
Yes, please.
Yes, Doc. Okay.
Yes, Doc.
So can anyone give us a typical example of how I can use a competition on my owned media, which is my social media page, to be able to drive earned media? Can anyone give us an example of how I can do that? Lawrence, please come in.
All right. So with an organization, say an organization that deals in wigs,
yes.
Or that if that's your organization, you can first put certain requirements across where the people have to follow your page.
Good.
Then they have to maybe share a message on their own pages and then tag your page.
Good.
And maybe get some other friends to react to their messages.
Good.
And then follow your page before they can be before they can meet the criteria for the giveaway itself.
Exactly. So that is the marketer's smart way of
I have
using.
a follow-up question.
Yeah, go ahead, Lawrence.
Yes, you said the organizations make certain conditions, put certain conditions in place that make them earn media from people, even if it's not voluntarily from the individuals.
It's actually voluntary. It's actually voluntary, but it is not very obvious. We call it stealth marketing.
Okay.
So you are doing it, but you are being smart about it. It's like the terms and conditions apply, and then the terms and conditions are written in fine print in the smallest fonts they could find. Have you observed that before?
Yes.
Aha. So I hope your question is answered.
Yes, please, it is.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Lawrence, and thank you too for your contribution. Ekia, you have something to add?
Yes, please. So with the example, I wanted to share something I did personally.
Please go ahead.
With the class. So I have this kitchen I run on Instagram. And when I was starting, because I wasn't really getting a lot of followers, I decided to do a giveaway where one of the conditions were the people you tag are supposed to tag me back, are supposed to follow me back, sorry. So it was, even though I was trying to get, I was doing something for fun, I ended up getting a lot of followers after the whole giveaway was over.
Yeah.
Because everybody would win, so they tell their friends to follow back. So I just wanted to add up to the example, the explanation my colleague just explained.
Yeah, that's a very good example. If you put the page in the chat section so that your classmates can also go and follow.
Yes.
And then you can get more likes and follows.
Yes, please, I will.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Manaf says, especially musicians, when they release a new song, they create a challenge and put a prize on it for the winner. Yes. That's a prime example of using their own media, which is their own platform and website, to earn media from followers. So I think we have understood this abundantly. So in a nutshell, the marketer cannot do without these three forms of media intersecting with each other. And by putting them all together, the marketer is able to create a comprehensive strategy. Comprehensive in terms of the fact that you are sure that you are targeting and hitting all possible angles at which you can attract and get the attention of your prospective customers or even your current customers and keep them with you and keep them away from the eyes of your competitors. So it's not enough to utilize one or just two. You need to put all the three together in a creative way to come up with a comprehensive strategy that will ensure that you achieve your marketing objectives. And with that, we ask ourselves, that being said, knowing all these things, what can be marketed online? We can market anything and everything online, from goods like cars, shoes, bags, all the physical products that we can touch, to services like banking, ushering services, car wash services, fitting services. All of these can be advertised and sold online. We can even advertise and market events. December to Remember, Ghana Movie Awards, the Rapaholic concert. We can advertise all these things. We can even sell and market
31st night.
31st nights, thank you, right? We can even sell experiences, right? The Disney experience, the Dubai experience. Please, who here has done the Dubai experience? Has anyone here gone for the Dubai experience?
Ron.
Ron has attended the Dubai experience. Yeah, Isaac, I also wish to attend, but I can never find the time. They always do it around Easter. And that's an odd time because it is almost examination time and you can't leave and go and come back. Yes, we'll go to Kwewu. That's another experience. Ron, did you have something to say?
Oh, no, Doc.
Okay.
I actually haven't attended that experience.
I know, they were putting you on the spot. Don't mind them.
But Doc, is your slide earned or paid media?
The slides I use?
Yes. I'm seeing Standard Chartered there. You're advertising for them.
It's earned. It's earned.
It's earned.
It's earned. I kid you not. Like I used to dislike them until they earned my trust with their new online banking applications. So it's earned, yes. Okay. So experiences, like we said, the Disney experience, the Dubai experience, Kwewu, they are all experiences we can market online, right? We can also market persons, right? Michelle Obama, the success of her book Becoming was largely driven by e-marketing, using social media to propel the popularity of the book, using the internet to get people to pre-order the book. In fact, they utilized a lot of internet technology, which made the book a sensation. We have also seen a lot of persons that have used the internet primarily to mount their entire career. They're about to be past president of the United States, utilize the internet and e-marketing techniques so much to sell himself and his ideologies, right?
Sam.
So that is it for persons, right? We can also market what we refer to as places, right? The Dubai experience is marketing both an experience and a place called Dubai, right? We can market properties. We see a lot of these adverts for real estate popping up on various platforms and pages. We can also advertise organizations, right? We saw the advert of the Chartered Institute of Marketing on the CNET page. World Vision is another non-governmental organization that used to also advertise a lot to get people to sign up to support its initiatives. And we can also market information, right? We have platforms online that specialize on gathering consumer information like Nielsen. in addition to other websites that specialize in providing specific kinds of consumer information in specific geographic regions. A typical example is Euromonitor, which I sign up to. And they always give me periodic consumer data based on European trends. So they tell you about what is happening in Europe, what people are consuming in the different product categories, what the trends are, the demographic information. They provide all those things on a periodic basis to help you as a marketer to make objective decisions when you're trying to market to people in that part of the world. At the same time, too, we can market ideas, right? Crayola launched an online campaign to market diversity, the idea of diversity, and to get children to appreciate the diversity of humans that exist and the multiplicity of backgrounds, to create a sense of acceptance, if you may, and to try to tackle the issue of racism. So they launched these multicultural crayons and they promoted it on as many platforms as they could to try and drive home the idea of the fact that regardless of your skin color, you are important, you are loved, and you are appreciated. And that is a typical example of an idea and how it can be propelled or sold, be it online through e-marketing or traditionally in the offline context. And with that, we've come to the end of our session. Does anyone have anything they want to comment on? Okay, so Mami Ekia has posted the handle. It's at Mami's Kitchen on Instagram. Please go and check out Mami's Kitchen. Leave a comment, leave a review, tag somebody, and follow the page so that we can support a sister.
Doc,
yeah.
Please, during the presentation, someone asked if YouTube was also part of the review, but there was no answer for.
I didn't see that, sorry. So YouTube is one of those platforms that can be used for a multiplicity of purposes.
Okay.
So for instance, YouTube can be used as a subscription, YouTube runs a subscription model. You know, now there's a version of YouTube that you have to subscribe to use.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good, there's YouTube Premium now. And there are people who are on YouTube that you need to subscribe to access their content. So they're all on the premium side. Then we also have the community model happening in YouTube, where you have people who follow a particular YouTuber, always getting notifications of their videos and coming to comment on the videos and interacting with each other under the videos. Please, have we observed that?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Good. So YouTube uses a combination. At the same time, too, the merchant model can also be applied on YouTube. You have influencers who support certain brands, and when they post content, they provide the links to platforms where you can directly click and go and buy these items from. So YouTube uses a combination of the models. This doesn't make sense.
Thank you.
Good. Good. Sorry, I didn't see that. I think a lot of people came and then buried it. Yes. All right. So please, is there anything else before we finally sign off?